Hi, it's Teri with another 60-minute dynamic vinyasa flow class. My power yogis, you can always come upside down whenever you'd like, come into arm balances. As I guide you through your practice, I encourage you to stay focused with your breath, take breaks whenever necessary, and also if you'd like to listen to my playlist that I'm playing that you can't hear right now on Spotify, I'm at Therese, ThereseGMartin, and the playlist is Flow 60-3. Start in a child's pose, Balasana. If you'd like to prop, make sure you have a block or a large book that you can use as support for some of the poses. Send your hips back, but instead of Balasana, child's pose, send your arms back behind you with your palms facing up. Let your shoulders relax down towards the floor, drawing your senses inward. Settle your hips back a little bit more towards your heels. Feel the outer back ribs melt forward towards the front ribs. Feel the belly and chest supported on the side, on your thighs. And as you take a next big breath in, feel the ribs expand in the back body. Open your mouth, exhale. Feel a bit more of a sense of relaxing and settling into your shape. Inhale, full breath in, pull the belly in, feel the back ribs expand. Breath out, settle it in. Another breath in, and a breath out. On your next inhalation, slowly roll up. Hug the belly in. Roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale, follow the belly, the chest, and then the chin, and the head relax. Again, inhale, slowly rolling up. Open up the chest, shoulder blades press into the chest. Exhale, undulate it all the way back down. 2 more times like this. Inhale, slowly rolling it up. Exhale, lowering it down. Inhale, rolling it up. And exhale, lowering it down. Inhale, come all the way back up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high. As you exhale, hands to the center of your chest. Breath in, big sweep up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. One more round of breath in. And open mouth, breath out, let it go. Bring your arms overhead, reach high. Come into a tabletop position, hands and knees. Take a breath in, draw the chest to the shoulders, tilt the head, tilt the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine into a cat position. As you breathe back in, raise your right leg behind you, lift it up. Exhale, curl the knee into the nose and round it out. Inhale, draw the right leg back behind you, perhaps left arm reaches forward by your ear. Exhale, curl the navel into the nose and draw your elbow to your knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Settle your left hand to the floor. Roll your right hip on top of your left. You can use your left foot as a kickstand. Left arm directly underneath your left shoulder. Right arm reaches overhead. Staying here, getting a little bit more length from the palm to your fingertips. A little bit more length from your left shoulder to your left hip. Either drawing your right arm by your ear, reaching long, or bending into your right knee, reach for your foot for modified Chapasana. Push the foot into your hand, open up the chest, look back, breathing in for another 2. Press down, lift up, open up into the hip. Release your foot, bring your right arm overhead. Come back down into level, right hand underneath right shoulder, right leg stays long. Flex into your ankle, press your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Wake up your right leg, press firmly into the ball of the foot, bring your left knee into your chest. Hike it up a little bit more, even more. Try to kiss your knee with your nose. Another breath. Step your left foot back to meet your right for high plank position. Rock your way forward and backwards a few times. Feel the firm engagement in the legs, belly supporting the lower back. Staying here for another breath. Back to your high plank position. Shift your weight forward just a little bit. Elbows slide against the side body, lowering all the way down under the chest and belly. Hands back behind you. Lift the heads of the shoulders up and back for Shalabhasana. Press into the pelvis. Pull the belly in. Shoulder blades are drawing together. Reach long back behind you. Staying here for another breath. Release it down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Return to your tabletop position, hands and knees. Take a breath in, draw the chest to the shoulders, tilt the head, tilt the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, and drop your head down. Next breath in, extend the chest, draw your left leg behind you. Exhale, curl the knee into the nose. As you breathe in next, draw your left leg back, right arm reaches over by your ear. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale to extend. Step your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Draw your right foot out to the side as a kickstand. Roll your left hip open, left arm reaches overhead. Make sure your right shoulder is aligned over your wrist. Left leg is long, perhaps the left arm reaches strongly in front of you over your left ear. Or perhaps bend into your back knee, reach your foot, modified Chapasana. Press the foot into your hand. Lean back into the support of the shoulder blades and the back ribs. Press into your right hand, get a little bit more oomph in it. Another breath, open up even more. Release your foot, left arm overhead. Square it all off, left hand underneath left shoulder. Step your left foot back behind you. Press firmly into the ball of the foot. Bring your right knee into your chest. Lift it up even higher. Even higher, round into your upper back. Step your right foot to meet your left, high plank position. Exhale, lower down halfway or all the way to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Thighs lift off the floor in your up dog. Shoulders are back, legs are firmly engaged. Exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take your time finding gentle swaying movements. You can also spin the heels over to the right and then to the left. Finding a sense of power as you place your hands firmly to the floor, including your knuckles and thumbs and index fingers. Lengthen the torso, hug the belly in, let your head and neck drop down. Breathing here for another 3. Inhale and exhale for 2. One more breath in and a breath out. On your next inhalation, into a high plank position, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, spin your heels over towards the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale into a high plank position. Exhale, spin your heels to the left. Inhale, back to center. Downward facing dog, hips are high. Inhale into a high plank position. Spin your heels over to the right. Staying here, left arm reaches overhead, Vashisthasana. Feet can stay staggered. You can put your left foot on top of your right. And lift up a bit more. Come back to center, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana, or to the floor. Inhale, pull forward and up, upward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take a breath in, push the floor away, send your hip bones high, settle your heels closer to the floor. Inhale into a high plank position. Exhale, spin your heels over towards your left. Feet can stay staggered as you bring your right arm overhead. You can either stay here or stack your right foot on top of your left. Lift up just a bit more. Another breath here. Exhale, lower your right hand to the floor, high plank. Exhale, lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank, or to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra or an upward facing dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, hug the belly in, lift the kneecaps up. Exhale, heels closer to the floor. One more breath in, and let it go. On your next inhalation, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float lightly to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, bow it down for forward fold. Separate your feet, hips width distance apart. Grab your elbows and dangle. You can sway, maybe even little gentle twists. Wherever you are, Your head is heavy, your neck is long. You have grabbed your elbows, reverse it so the other forearm is on top. Draw your weight towards the balls of your feet so you're equally standing on both feet. Hug the belly in, send your hip bones higher, and the head relax. Release your hands from your elbows, a little bit of a bend into your knees, and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Breath in, bring your arms overhead, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, pull the hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Let's get moving with your breath. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach up. Exhale, hinge down for a forward fold, Uttanasana. Breath in, lengthen, chest forward, hands can slide up to your knees. Exhale, hands to the floor, step or float through to Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Keep sending the hip bones high. Get a little bit more length in the torso. Feel some more space between your vertebrae. Another inhale. Stay for the exhalation. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump lightly to the top of your mat. Take a breath in, lengthening. Exhale, hinge for your forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hinge right back down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward. Exhale, hands to the floor, step or float through to your Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, up dog. Exhale, hips are high, down dog. Take 2 cycles of breath. Breath in, let it go. Inhale, and exhale. Next breath in, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, push back. Step or float lightly to the top of your mat. Breath in to lengthen, shoulders back. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, press firmly to your feet. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge right back down. Final Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step or jump through to your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull forward and up, up dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let it go. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float lightly to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to lengthen. A breath out, bow it down, forward fold. Bring your big toe mounds to touch, bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Send the hips down low. Slide your knees back a little bit further. Sit down even lower. Arms are brightly by your ears. Notice if they start to drop down, lift them up. Squeeze the insides of your thighs together, the outsides of your hips together. Another breath. Straighten your legs, forward fold. Breath in to lengthen. Separate your toes out to the sides, bring your hands to the floor, come high on the balls of your feet. Bakasana, crane pose. Squeeze the insides of your knees towards your outer arms. Bring your toes together. Shift forward. Maybe your toes lift off the floor. Hug the belly in. Push the floor away. Another breath. Eventually, lower your feet or just shoot your feet back to Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let it go. Next inhalation, step your right foot to the top of the mat, place your left heel to the floor. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Sink deeply into your right hip, spin your left ribs forward. Maybe a little bit more depth in the bend in the right knee. Straighten your left leg more. Reach up on the final breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Keep your hips level. Step from high plank to low plank. Maybe it's a 3-legged chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to the top of the mat. Place your right heel to the floor. Arms reach overhead. Virabhadrasana 1. Firm weight into your left foot to pull your left hip back. Firm weight in the outer edge of your back foot. Sink a little bit more deeply. Lift the ribs up. Feel the extension of the torso. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 cycles of breath here. Breath in and a breath out. Inhale and exhale. One more round of breath in and let it go. Inhale, high in the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees. Step and float lightly to the top of the mat. Breath in to lengthen chest forward. Breath out, bow it down, forward fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana chair. Straighten your legs for a forward fold. Feel free to take another crow position. Inhale to lengthen. Hands can come to the floor. You can just step back to a high plank position. Bring your toes together, lifting your feet off the floor. Eventually finding your way through your vinyasa, high plank to low. Inhale, up dog, Adho Mukha. Exhale, down dog, Adho Mukha. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. Place your left heel to the floor. Arms overhead. Draw your left arm underneath your right, Eagle Wrap Garudasana. Reach the fingertips up, lean back. Make sure your left leg is long. Another breath. Back to your warrior one. Unwind your arms. Lower the hands to the floor. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale for an up dog. Exhale for a downward facing dog. Step your left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel folds down. Arms reach overhead. Right arm wraps underneath left. Elbows and forearms and palms connect. Deep, deep bend in the left knee, long right leg. Lift up, but relax your shoulders. Find a gentle back bend as you slide your left knee forward. Feel the back ribs lift away from the back waist. Unwind your arms, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hands to the floor, step from high plank to low. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take 5 rounds of breath here. Continue to push the floor away with the hands. Settle your head down nice and heavily. And breathe softly for another 3. Inhale and exhale for 2. Get a little bit narrower in the waist. Find more length from your hips to your heels. Engage your legs. On your next inhalation, raise your right leg behind you, 3-limb dog. Pull your left hip back. Bend your right knee, yawn your right hip open. Keep pressing into your right hand. Hug your left hip back. Find even more space between your right hip and your right knee. Staying here for another breath. Tap your right arm with your right knee. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Draw the right leg back behind you. Tap your left arm with your left knee. Inhale, draw the right leg back behind you. Tap your left arm with your right knee. Fall in triangle, left arm reaches overhead. Lower your left hand down, swing your right leg back behind you. Again, tap your left arm with your right knee, straighten the leg. Fall in triangle, press down, lift up. Lower your left hand down, swing the right leg back. Step your right foot to the top of the mat, low runner's lunge. Right hip pulls back, left leg stays long, belly's engaged. Scissor your inner thighs, left heel stays nice and high. Keep extending the chest forward. Left hand underneath your left shoulder. They call this a simple twist. I don't think it's that simple, but anyway, twist over towards your right. Continue to hug the right hip inside. Draw, spin your ribs around into your right thigh. Press into your left hand, get a little bit more length. Make sure your left leg stays long. Another breath. Lower your right hand to the floor, swing your right leg back behind you, down dog split. Step your right foot to the top of the mat, high crescent lunge. Make sure your hips and torso are square to the top of the mat. Left heel stays nice and high. You can begin to straighten your left leg a little bit, but don't lose the bend in your right knee. Arms are reaching brightly overhead. Take a breath in, lift up. Exhale, twist to your right, bring your arms outstretched. As you breathe in, straighten your right leg, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, back to your twist, bend into your right knee and twist. Inhale, pull the right leg straight. Exhale, find your twist. Just spin the ribs around the spine. Come back to your high crescent lunge. Keep the bend in the front knee. Reach up on the breath in. Exhale, spin your left heel to the floor. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Keep bending, bending, bending into your right standing leg. Make sure there's an angle to your back foot. Left leg is long. Might even need to scoot your right foot forward a bit more. Arms are outstretched. Make sure your left hip is dropped down so it lines up with your right. That way your shoulders are over your hips. Take another breath in and a breath out. Leave the bend in your right knee. Reverse your whir. Flip your right palm, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Forearms on your thigh. Bring your left arm by your ear. Reach and lengthen. Make sure you still have the firm weight in the outer edge of your back foot. Draw the right ribs towards your right knee. Spin them towards me. Lean the left chest back. Keep reaching dynamically over your head. Keep lengthening into your left leg. Breathing in Utthita Pasvakonasana for another 2. And 1. Straighten your front leg, reverse your triangle, reach up and back. Exhale, extend your side angle, left arm sweeps overhead. Inhale, straighten, reach up and back. Exhale, bend into your right knee, left arm long. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Inhale, straighten into your right leg, bend into your left knee for a side lunge. Curl your toes towards your shin. Breathe into the sensations of stretch underneath your right leg. Breathing here for another few breaths. You can even draw your arms in front of your left shin. Let your head and neck relax. You might even find more sensation this way. Head drops down. Walk your hands back to center. Bend into your right knee. Crawl your way all the way back to face the front of the room. Hands firmly to the floor. Swing onto the outside of your left foot. Wild Thing Rock Star. Step your right foot behind you. Bring your right arm overhead. Press down and lift up. Draw your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Fallen triangle, fallen star again. Bring your left arm overhead. Perhaps bend your knee and reach for the outer edge of your foot. Lower the left foot down, left arm overhead. Right foot down, rather. Lower your left hand down. Switch to your fallen triangle on the opposite side. Right foot down, left leg out to the side. Right arm reaches overhead. Either staying here or elect to grab the outside of your foot. Shoulder over your wrist. Breathing here for another breath. Come back to center into a high plank position. Lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let it go. Breath in, push down, lift up, let it go. One more round of breath in. Hug the belly in, engage the quads. Heels settle more to the floor. On your next breath in, raise your left leg long back behind you. Lift it up a bit higher. Bring your knee into your chest. Inhale, draw the left leg back behind you. Again, exhale, knee to the chest. Inhale, left leg long, glide it back. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of your mat. High crescent lunge, bring your arms by your ears and reach up. Press into your left foot, hug your left hip back. Continue to scissor the inner thighs. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, twist to your left. You'll stay here for a few moments. Continue to firm the left hip back into midline. Bring your shoulders over your hips so that the torso is nice and parallel and perpendicular to the floor. Lead to the center of your chest as you find a deeper twist. Right leg might grow a little bit straighter at this point. Back to center, bring your arms over by your ears. Clasp your hands behind you. Launch your way into Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Gradually bring your way all the way onto your left foot, starting to straighten into your left leg. Hips are lined up nice and square to the floor. Knuckles reach long behind you away from your lower back. Find a lift of the chest, perhaps a lift more of the right leg. The right leg is working as firmly as your left standing leg. Shoulder blades together. Relax and soften into your shoulders. Gradually coming into a forward fold with your right leg stay lifted. Bring your hands to the floor, lift the right leg up higher. As you exhale, bend into your left knee. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Heel toe your left foot out to the side for lizard lunge. Squeeze the inside of your knee to the outside of your arm. Lengthen your right leg. You can swivel around a little bit. Just kind of hammock a little bit. A little gentle swaying. Notice how much freer you might feel in your hips even by now. And come back to center. Bend the elbows to chaturanga arms. Push your chest forward as you lower halfway down. Inhale, push right back up. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, right back up. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, back up. You have the opportunity to either just lower your right knee to the floor, or my arm balance people, Kondinyasana B is right there. You can bend your elbows again. Lift your left knee, your left foot off the floor. Hug the elbows right to your ribs, and perhaps you have lift off of your right foot. Eventually, you'll all return to a lizard lunge with your right knee down. Right hand underneath right shoulder and tuck your back toes. Left hand to your left knee. Slide your right hip down. Lead with your belly button as you twist over towards your left. Then back into your back knee. Reach for your foot. Sink the hips even lower. Push the foot into the hand and find your twist. Keep sinking the hips lower. Keep finding more of a twist without collapsing into your right shoulder. Press down and lift up. Look over your left shoulder even more. Find that beautiful opening. Slowly releasing your foot. Heel toe your left foot back to center inside of your left hand. Straighten your left leg for Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Scoot your left heel forward. Lengthen as you breathe in. Hug the left hip back. Bow your chest over your thigh. Staying here, or bring your right hand outside of your left leg. Left arm long overhead. Modified revolved triangle, Pavdita Trikonasana. Continue to scoot your left hip back. Slide your right chest towards your armpit and then twist open even more. Breathing here for another 2 breaths. Continue to lengthen when you breathe in. Find more twist when you breathe out. Another breath in. Find more twist. Slowly unwind yourselves. Then back into your left knee. Crawl your way forward. Tuck your back toes. High plank position to low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up. Upward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, lift the heels high, hips high. Open mouth, breath out. Let the heels settle down. Inhale, heels high, hips high. Open mouth, breath out. Push the floor away. One more time. Inhale, heels high, hips high. Open mouth, breath out. Let it go. Next, inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float your way to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to lengthen. A breath out, bow it down, forward fold. Press firmly into your feet as you bring your arms all the way up. Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest. Samastita, equal standing. Press firm weight onto your left foot. Left hand to your left hip. Bring your right knee up. You can keep your hand on your knee. Grab your big toe with 2 fingers and a thumb and straighten your right leg in front of you. Pull your right shoulder back. Take a breath in, lift the leg up a bit higher. Draw the right leg out to the right. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, 2. Roll your right hip down. Make sure your left leg is still growing longer. Standing tall. Breathing and focusing, gazing lightly in front of you. Gradually bring your knee or your foot back to center. Place your left hand on your right knee, right hand to right hip, or grab the outside of your edge of your right foot. Straighten your right leg in front of you. Find a twist to the right. Right arm reaches out to the side. Continue to press into your left foot to pull your left thigh bone back. Lead to the center of the chest as you find a little bit more of a twist. Gradually coming back to center, bend your right knee, bring it into your chest. Straighten your right leg down, up as you lower down into a standing split position. Press into your left foot, pull your left hip back. Take a breath in, bring your knee into your nose and round it out. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, extend. Staying here for several breaths. Handstanders can always bend into your left knee, pop your way into a handstand. Standing split, crawl your hands towards your ankle, bow the chest down, make sure your right leg is nice and bright. Eventually, everybody, take your hands to the floor, step into a high plank position and lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, up dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let it go. Next breath in, raise your right leg behind you, three-limb dog. Bend your right knee, yawn your hip open. Tap your right arm with your right knee, shift your shoulders over your wrists. Draw your right leg back behind you. Tap your left arm with your right knee. Inhale, draw the right leg back behind you. Step your right foot to the top of your mat. Half moon rising, Ardha Chandrasana. The hand can come to a block. Gradually bringing your way up. Straighten into your left leg. Left arm floats overhead. Stack shoulder blade on top of shoulder blade. Make sure you're lengthening the right side body, finding a bit more of an open twist. Starting to bend into your right standing leg, come all the way into a warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Reach to the front of the room. Triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Keep reaching and lengthening. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches overhead. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Roll the right inner thigh towards your face. Lengthen the right waist a little bit more. Flatten into the left side body. Find your twist, Utthita Trikonasana. Make sure there's weight on the outer edge of your back foot. Breathing here for another 3 breaths. Continue to lengthen when you breathe in. Find a little bit more of a lean back, a little bit more of a twist as you breathe out. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to your hips, wide-legged forward fold. Encourage the front hip bones ahead of the pubis as you fold down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in, lengthen, come onto your fingertips. Exhale, bow it down. Bring your hands, crawling them back, chaturanga arms. Press into the hands to pull your way forward, then bow it down. Head and neck are nice and relaxed. You can sway your hips from one side to the other. If you have an inversion in your practice, tripod headstand is always right here for you. Otherwise, those in a wide-legged forward fold, make sure your weight isn't too far towards the heels. Drawing your weight towards the balls of your feet to enhance the stretch in the backs of your legs. Let your shoulder head soften, let the back of the neck soften. A few more rounds of breath wherever you are. On your next inhale, come onto your fingertips and lengthen. Tent your right fingertips in front of you, draw your left arm underneath, grab your right leg. Then into your left elbow, bring your right arm overhead. Readjust your hips so the left hip is lined up with the right. Lengthen on the breath in, find a little bit more of the twist when you breathe out. Another 2 cycles of breath. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. One more breath in. Slowly unwind yourselves, come onto your fingertips to lengthen. Then into your right knee, spin around to face the top of the room. Hands to the floor. Step back to a high plank position. Lower all the way down onto the chest and belly. Bring your arms long behind you. Roll the heads of the shoulders up and back. Lead with the inner thighs as you lift the legs up. Shoulder blades are drawing towards one another. Reach dynamically back with the arms. Lift the legs up a bit more for Shalabhasana. Breathing here for another 3. Lift up a bit more for 2. And 1. Lower down. Press your hands underneath your shoulders. Bring your way back to downward facing dog. Take several breaths here. Remember, it's a push-pull. You're pushing down, pulling the hips up and back, and settling your heels back to the floor. Another inhale. And let it go. On your next inhalation, raise your left leg long back behind you. Pull your right hip back. Bend your left knee, yawn your hip open. Keep pushing the floor away with your left hand. Maintain length in the right side body as well. Open up even more. Even a little bit more. Knee up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. Exhale, tap your left arm with your left knee. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Draw the left leg long back behind you. Tap your right elbow with your left knee. Inhale, draw the leg back behind you. Fall in triangle. Shoot the left leg out. Bring your right arm overhead. Press down, lift up. Right hand down, swing your left leg back behind you. Back to your fallen triangle, fallen star. Right arm reaches overhead. Lower your right hand down, swing your left leg back. Step your left foot to the top of the mat, low runner's lunge. Firmness in both standing feet. Pull your right hip forward, press into your left heel, and draw your hip back. Both standing feet kind of sounded a little odd, didn't it? Anyway, both of your feet. Pull your left hip back, glide your chest forward. Pull the belly in. Right hand underneath right shoulder, left arm out to the left for this simple twist. Press into your left foot, pull your left hip back. Roll your left shoulder blade on top of your right. Press into your right hand to get more length in the right side body. A little bit more twist when you breathe out. Another inhale. As you exhale, lower your left hand to the floor. Three-legged dog, down dog split. Step your left foot to the top of the mat, high crescent lunge. Bring a little bit of a bend into your back knee as you come up. Deep, firm bend in your left knee. Pull your right hip forward. Feel the ribs lift up away from the back waist. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to your left. Bring your arms outstretched into a T. As you breathe in, straighten your left leg. Scissor your inner thighs. Keep your right heel lifted. Straighten your leg. Exhale, bend back into your left knee and find your twist. Inhale to straighten. Come back to center. One more round. Exhale to twist. Inhale to straighten. Back into your high crescent lunge. Take a breath in. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Deep bend in the left knee. Right hip lowers down so it lines up with your left. Deep bend, long back leg. Arms are brightly out to the sides. Breathing here for another 3. Sink a little bit more deeply for 2. And 1. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm is lightly on your thigh, right arm by your ear. Continue to rotate the inner thigh towards me. Lengthen your right leg even more. Strong dynamic stretch from the fingertips all the way to the outer edge of your foot, as if somebody's pulling you to the front of the room. Draw your left chest towards your left armpit, spin around and lean back. Another breath. Straighten your front leg, reverse your triangle, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm over your ear. Inhale to straighten, pull up and back. Exhale, bend back into your left knee. One more round. Inhale to straighten, pull up and back. Exhale to bend. Come back up, bend into your right knee for Skandasana, side lunge on this side. Staying here initially for the first few breaths. And scoot your left heel to the front of the room a little bit more. You can elect to stay here, or bring your arms in front of your right shin and let your head and neck drop back. Sinking down. Let your head drop down. And bring your hands back together underneath your shoulders. Ninja, walk your way all the way back to the top of the mat. Low runner's lunge. Spin onto the outside of your right foot. Step your left foot behind you. Wild thing, rock star, press down, lift up. Settle your left hand down. Swing your left leg underneath you. Fallen triangle, fallen star. Right arm reaches overhead. Lower your right hand down. Switch your feet. Fallen triangle the opposite way. Left arm reaches overhead. Lower your left hand to the floor. Swing your right leg around. Wild thing, rock star. Bring your right arm overhead. Press down, lift up, lean back. Lower your right hand to the floor. Three-legged plank to three-legged chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward and up, up dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Inhale, push the floor away with a hand. Send your bum bones high and back. Breathe out. One more inhale. Hug the belly in. Breath out. Raise your right leg as you breathe in. Pull your left hip back. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. High crescent lunge. Bring your arms by your ears. Reach up. Sink hips nice and low. Bend deeply into your right knee. Hips are square. Take a breath in. Feel the back ribs lift up. Twist towards your right. Bring your arms outstretched. Pull your right hip back. Pull your left hip forward. Staying here for another 3 rounds of breath. Every breath in is a lengthening. Soften your shoulders, find your rotation. Inhale and exhale. One more cycle of breath in and a breath out. Come back to center. Catch your hands behind you. Find the non-dominant way for your clasp. Draw the knuckles away from your lower back. Hinge forward. Eventually lighten into your left foot. Straighten your right leg for Virabhadrasana 3 variation. Rolling your left hip down. Keep drawing the knuckles back behind you. Pull your right hip back. Lift your left leg up even higher. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Maintaining your clasp. Standing split. Bring your hands to the floor. Lift the left leg up a bit higher. Step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Place your knee to the floor. Heel toe your right foot out to the side for lizard lunge. Arms stay long. Use the support of the hands to pull the chest forward. Sink the hips a little bit more deeply. Squeeze your right outer arm to your inner knee. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off the floor. Bend the elbows halfway, Chaturanga arms. Inhale right back up. Hug the belly and exhale. Push the chest forward as you bend your elbows to the side body. Inhale back up. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale back up. Either staying here, coming into your Kundalini B, bending into your elbows, lifting your right foot off the floor, or lower your left knee down and sink the hips even lower and finding that swaying motion. In Kundalini, you're still pressing down to pull the chest forward. Rock your way forward even more so your toes feel a lot lighter off of the mat. From Kundalini, eventually lower your left knee to the floor. Everybody, actually take your right hand to your right knee. Slide the chest forward. Spin the ribs around towards your right inner thigh. Look over your right shoulder. Bend back into your back knee. Reach for your foot. Sink the hips nice and low. Look over your right shoulder even more. Find more lengthening as you breathe in, drawing the left ribs to the front of the room. Spin them towards your right inner thigh and look over your right shoulder. Push the foot into your hand. Feel that beautiful quad stretch. Another 2. And 1. Gradually release your foot. Now heel toe your right foot inside of your right hand. Straighten your right leg. Slide your right heel out for Ardha Hanumanasana. Breath in, lengthen. Project the chest toward your knee. Staying squared in center, or step your left foot outside of your right hand. Right hip pulls back. Right arm reaches overhead. Modified revolved triangle. Continue to slide your left chest towards your right knee. Find even more of a twist. Lengthen. Each breath in is an extension. Each breath out is a little bit deepening into the pose. One more round of breath here. Gradually unwind yourselves. Bend back into your right knee. Glide your way forward. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Lift your heels high, hips high. Exhale, breath out, lower the heels. 2 more rounds. Inhale, heels high, hips high. Open mouth, breath out, side out, heels to the floor. One more time. Inhale, heels high, hips high. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Lightly sealing your lips back together. Slide the kneecaps up. And breathe out. On your next inhalation, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float your way to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, bow down, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears. Reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Press weight onto your right foot. Right hand to right hip. Left hand to left knee. Either stay right here. Make sure you're nice and stable. Perhaps grab your big toe with 2 fingers and a thumb and straighten your left leg in front of you. Pull your left shoulder back. A little bit brighter in the right leg. Breath in, lift the leg up a bit higher. Exhale, draw the left leg out to the side, right arm reaches out. In this position, make sure your left hip doesn't hike up. You want to roll it back and underneath. Breathing here for another 2 breaths, finding your balance. Gradually bring your leg back to center. Left hand to left hip, right hand to right knee. Perhaps out the outside of your left foot, finding your straight leg in front of you, and draw your left arm out to the side. Keep pressing into your right foot, pull the right hip back. and then find your twist. Another breath in, find a bit more of a spin. Come back to center, left knee to your chest, into your standing split at the top of your mat. Press into your right foot, right hip pulls back, left leg lifts long back behind you. Exhale, bend your knee and breathe it into your nose. Inhale to extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend. Standing split or handstand hip kick-ups. In your standing split, bow your chest over your thigh, let your head and neck relax. Keep your hips level, perhaps lift the left leg up just a bit more. Wherever you are, you're still breathing consistently. Another couple of breaths. Eventually, you'll all find your way through vinyasa, bending into your right knee, stepping your left foot back. Handstand kickers can float back through your vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Inhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath in and let it go. On your next inhalation, raise your left leg long back behind you. Bend your left knee, yawn it open. Draw your left knee to your left arm, pull your chest forward. Glide your left leg long back behind you. Exhale, tap your right arm with your left knee. Inhale, left leg long. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat. Half moon rising. As you draw your way onto your left foot, gradually start to roll your right hip on top of your left, right arm overhead, left arm down. Keep lengthening into your right leg. Keep lengthening into the left side waist. Finding this beautiful shape of a star for another 2 breaths. Eventually bending into your left standing leg, glide your way back into your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, reverse your triangle. Exhale, Utthita Trikonasana. Reach your left arm forward. Left arm comes down. Right arm reaches overhead. Slide the left chest towards your left arm. Spin the ribs around the center axis of your spine. Hips are staying nice and static. Once you've achieved a full rotation, perhaps you pull your right hip back a bit more. That's enhancing the twist. Continue to breathe in and lengthen. Continue to twist when you breathe out. Firm weight in your left big toe mound. Slide the left thigh back into the hip socket. One more breath in. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Find your twist. Inhale all the way up. Parallel your feet. One more wide-legged forward fold. Can be your choice. You can grab your big toes with 2 fingers and a thumb. You can capture your hands behind you into a clasp to open your chest. If you'd like to come into an inversion or another inversion, be my guest. Sometimes in here, I just like to bend one knee and then the other, just sway a little bit from one side to the other. In wide-legged forward fold, feet are truly parallel. Outside edges are lined up with the short edges of your mat. Belly's pulling in, hips are high. Bow the chest down. Head is relaxed. Neck is long. Eventually, those of you in an inversion, settle your feet back to the floor. Everybody come onto your fingertips when you take a breath in. Slide your left hand in front of you. Draw your right arm underneath your left arm. Draw your left arm overhead. Find a deep twist. Continue to press weight into your right foot so your right hip pulls back to line up with the left. Lengthen when you breathe in with a deep bend in your right elbow. Find a little bit more of a twist when you breathe out. Another inhale. Deeper twist when you breathe out. One more inhale. Exhale. Find your way back to center. Take a breath in, come onto your fingertips. Bend into your left knee, pivot around to face the top of the mat. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Push the floor away with the hands. Send your hips high. Take another 2 and 1. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float lightly to the top of the mat. Take a breath in to lengthen. A breath out, bow it down, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply, Utkatasana chair. Sink the hips down nice and low. Bring the hands to the center of your chest. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, find your twist to the right, left elbow to right knee. Press the palms together, look over your left shoulder. Staying here, lifting your heels, sinking down. Right arm reaches down, left arm reaches overhead. Perhaps a twisted crow pose, hands to the floor. Chaturanga arms. Lean your outer thigh to your forearm and shift forward. Eventually, heels lower, feet lower back to the floor. Everybody straighten your legs for a forward fold. Inhale to lengthen chest forward. Exhale, bow it down. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, send the hips down low. Hands to the center of your chest, take a breath in. Find your twist to the right, left elbow to right knee. Press the palms together, look over your right shoulder. Staying here or sinking down really low, all the way down. Separate your arms, land left hand down, right arm overhead. Staying here, lengthening when you breathe in and finding more twist. Or bring your hands to the floor, parallel, bend your elbows, and find your way into a twisted crow pose. Eventually returning your feet to the floor. Everybody come back to center, straighten your legs, forward fold. Lengthen on the breath in. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, send the hips down low. Lift your heels up. Straighten your legs. Settle the heels to the floor, Utkatasana. Start to sink down, sink down, sink down, sit down, boat pose, Navasana. Hands underneath your thighs, lift your chest up towards your thighs. Arms reach long in front of you. Take a breath in, keep your knees bent. As you exhale, hands to the center of your chest, twist towards your right. When you breathe in, sink halfway down, straighten your legs, straighten your arms. Exhale, pull back up, twist to your left. Inhale to straighten, sink. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Inhale to lengthen. Slowly lower down on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms reach long behind you. Take a full breath in, reach and lengthen. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Place your feet underneath your knees, palms down by your sides. Make sure you're parallel. Press into the feet, press into the upper arms to send your hips high for bridge pose. Scooch one shoulder blade in and then the other. You can clasp your hands behind you. Press the pinky knuckles into the floor as you lift your hips up. Press the upper arms wherever your hands are into the floor to lift up even more. Slide your knees forward, feel your hamstrings engage. Lift the hips up, slide the shoulder blades right into the back of the heart for another 2 breaths. Press down, lift up. Exhale, slowly lower it down. Release your hands and let your tailbone touch. Take an inhale and an exhale. Another bridge pose, or perhaps Ardha Dhanurasana with your hands behind you. Straighten your arms. Make sure your feet are parallel with one another. Press down and lift up. Everybody breathe here wherever you are for another 5. Breath in and out for 4. Press down, lift up, slide the knees forward for 2. And 1. Slowly lower it down, tucking your chin to your chest if you're in your bow, upward facing bow. Everybody bring the soles of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. Knees spread wide. And to a belly in your chest. Bring your hands to your knees, bring your knees together. Curl your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a nice little squeeze. Rock and roll up and down a few times till you come all the way. Plant your palms. Step or float your way through to Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up for an upward facing dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let it go. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend your knees. Step lightly to the top of the mat. Take a breath in to lengthen. Take a breath out, forward fold. Rise all the way up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Left hand stays lifted, bend into your right knee. Grab the inside edge of your foot, that'll be your big toe side. Bring the hips together, push the foot away, lead with the center of the chest to dancer's pose, Natrajasana. Find a bow-like effect from your fingertips all the way to your right foot. Lead with the center of the chest as you're hinging forward. Gradually find your way back up. Settle your right foot down, raise your left arm overhead, bend into your left knee, grab the big toe side of your foot, push the foot into your hand, begin to find your hinge. Reaching and lengthening, pushing the foot into the hand, hips are staying square. Maintain soft breath and focus, marry them together. Gradually bring your way up, step onto your left foot, bend into your right knee, bring your left arm overhead, back to dancer's pose on the other side. Hips are square, push the foot away, draw your way forward. Make sure you're staying long in your left standing leg, hinging at your hips, push the foot away. Slowly bring your way back up, right foot down, right arm overhead, capture your left foot behind you, push the foot away, and find your dancer. Keep breathing. Soft gaze. Slowly bring your way up. Lower your left foot to the floor. Shake it all out. Come all the way into a yoga squat. Feet are separated wide. Walk your hands in front of you and let your tailbone soften towards the floor. Let your head and neck relax. You can sway from one side to the other. Perhaps a twist, draw your left forearm in front of your left shin. Right hand to your right knee, gaze over your right shoulder. Slide your right arm in front of your right knee, left hand to left hip. Look over your left shoulder. Come back down, round into the lower back. Feel the sensation of stretch in your tailbone, the space between your sitting bones. Sit down, straighten your legs in front of you. Bend into your right knee. Draw the sole of the foot inside of your thigh. Take a breath in, reach and lengthen. Stretch over your left leg. Take hold of wherever you can. Lengthen when you breathe in. Draw the right ribs towards your left inner thigh and let your head and neck relax. Lengthen on the breath in, spin a bit more. Exhale, bow it down. Another breath in and a breath out. Come back to center. Draw your left leg out to the side. Press your right hand by your right hip. Beautiful pose, stargaze pose. Come onto your right shin. Press down and lift up. Continue to draw your hips towards me. Lean the chest back into the shoulder blades for another breath. Gradually find your way back down. Bend into your left knee. Draw your right leg long in front of you. Arms reach overhead. Find the spin of the ribs around towards your right leg. Reach and lengthen. Feel the telescoping effect of your ribs as you reach the chest forward. Land your hands where they are. Lengthen as you breathe in. Twist and bow it down. 3 more rounds of breath in to lengthen. Breath out to twist and forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist and fold. 1 more cycle of breath in and fold. Come back to center. Draw your right leg long out to the side. Left hand down by your left hip. Swing your right arm overhead. Press down, lift up. Staying here for another 3. Draw your hips towards me. Lean back into your shoulder blades for 2. And 1. Gradually find your way back to down. Straighten both legs in front of you. Shake it all out. Lower all the way down onto the back. Bring your knees into your chest. Happy baby pose. Grab the outside edges of your feet. From one. Your legs by perhaps straightening one leg and then the other. Together. Place your feet onto the floor. Slide your hips over towards your left. Turn your knees to the right. Left arm out to the left and twist. Come back to center. Draw your hips over towards the left. Drop your knees to the right. And draw your right arm out to the right and turn your head to the right. Closing your eyes. Softening into this gentle twist. And coming back to center, straighten your legs in front of you for Shavasana, conscious rest. Let your arms rest by your sides. Feel the firmness and settling of the back body on the mat. Together, take a long, slow, smooth breath in. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. This is the most important pose of your practice. This is where all the effort of your breath work melt in together. Soft rhythm. I invite you to stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. Otherwise, you can start to move your fingers and toes around. Roll out your ankles and wrists. Perhaps bring your arms long behind you. Take a full breath in. Bring your feet together. Stretch and lengthen. Open mouth, breath out. Let it go. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a nice squeeze. Roll over onto your right side. Left hip on top of your right. Right arm rests on your right arm. With your eyes remain closed, gently bring your way up into comfortable seated position facing the front of the room. Sit up nice and tall. Just take a moment to reflect on how you feel right now. Perhaps this is the reason why you keep coming to your mat consistently over and over again. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Together we'll take a deep breath in, feel the lift of the chest. Open your mouths, exhale, let it go. Honoring the light in you that is the light in me, I thank you so much for sharing it with me. Namaste. I'm Teri. Have a great day.